right now. Hey guys, welcome to the Flip Everything webinar. What we're going to cover tonight is specific products that I flipped, how I flipped them. So we're going to do basically case study. And then we're also going to cover my thought process of how I do it and what things I'm willing to take chances on and how I know that things are a good chance that I'm taking before I actually make a move. How I mitigate risk, how I test things for free without actually buying them. Just basically the mind of sorry, somebody needs to get muted out. Brian, stay muted. You crazy motherfucker. All right, I think that's everybody muted. All right, so yeah, just I guess a little bit into the mind of myself and when I'm thinking through these process, and basically my favorite thing to do is to part of the reason I teach a lot of this stuff is so I can get paid to do it, so I can do what I'm teaching you now and only do that. The second I get into nailing down a niche, I immediately hire people so they can just do it for me, and then I get back to doing more of this. And so if I can eventually make enough through helping you guys, then eventually I can just do this all the time, because it's sort of an obsession of mine. So I hope you enjoy this as much as I do. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to take it away. If you're not muted, just go ahead and mute yourself. If you have questions, you can unmute yourself and then you can interrupt. That's fine. Just don't get too crazy with it, I suppose. All right, kind of closing out some of the stuff in the background on my end. And so I typed up this basic, the word isn't exactly methods, but it's things that I do when I'm types of flips that I do. And so this is just reminders for me. Now, the first most obvious thing, and a lot of people cover this, but free items can take your mind places that you didn't expect them to take. And it can get you into industries and niches that you didn't expect to be in. All right. And so the one that I did last week as a free item is I started thinking about, let me get to Marketplace. I started thinking about how expensive wood is. And sometimes I think about, I want to build my own house. And it's well, if building costs are so high, how can I just be a winner about the whole thing and build a house for the cost of maybe labor and nails and it's maybe some other random things that you can't get a hold of that might be a little bit trickier. But how do you get all your bricks free? How do you get all your wood free? How do you get all your power free? There was a dude the other day, he was selling 18 240 watt solar panels for $350. Those things new costs probably about $240 per panel. So you're looking at what is that, $7,000 or so worth of panels. I don't know if I did that right. It feels right, but it's probably a little bit less than that. It's probably $4,000 or $5,000 now that I think about it. But anyway, $4,000 or $5,000 worth of panels, $350. It's that amount of panels. You can know in your head, if you look up the price of panels, that $350 makes sense because it's so outrageously low compared to what the normal price is. Anyway, I looked up free or free stuff. Either one will get you some free stuff. And I found this guy. He had, I wish I could show you my phone, and I can send a picture to the page later if you want, or you individually. But it was a guy he was ripping up his deck. And the deck boards itself were just straight up trash. But the boards underneath it were not trash because they were pretty much insulated from the weather. And they were 2 by 10. Some I think were 2 by 8, and some were 2 by 12, meaning 2 inches by 12 inches, freaking thick, wide stuff by 8 to 12 feet long. And it was an entire trailer, 12-foot trailer full of this stuff. And I had no idea what that even, I just went on a whim. I just knew that it'd probably be valuable. And afterwards, a buddy called me. I posted about it. He said, each one of those boards new is worth $25 to $35 a piece. And I had probably 30 of them. So that's That in itself is a cool deal. Let's say that I sell this for half price. You know, I just picked up some boards and I make $300-400. That's like, okay, wow, now I got $300-400, not to blow on bills, but I got $300-400 to take a risk on maybe buying some cheap wood or the gas it would take to go get some more wood and expand my parameters on doing that. But here's where it got even cooler. He goes, I need to redeck a trailer. And I'm like, I didn't even know what that meant. I thought he meant his double wide. Like he's a cool dude. He makes a ton of money, but he has a double wide because he's smart. He doesn't have any debt. And I thought he was just needing like he was trying to make new deck for his double wide. And he said, no, I got trailers. I have two haul trailers, right? Which again, you could make a ton of money by having haul trailers. So it's like, this could go 3 levels deep now. I could sell the wood. I can now buy a beat up haul trailer that needs new decking, put this decking on it for essentially cost of goods sold being very low. The wood would be free. Or I could deck these trailers for someone else. With the amount of wood I got, I could probably deck 3 trailers of 10 to 12 feet. What he got quoted, each one of those was $600 to $700 if you brought it to like a professional company. Granted, they're using new boards. Granted, they're not noobs like me. Granted, if you come to me, you're probably gonna have to help me because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm sure YouTube can sort all that out, right? If you're handy and your thought process is good, it's like I could take those, charge half of what a dealer does, and instead of selling this board for $300-400, now I can put a little bit of sweat equity and probably make $1,000 to $1,200 off those boards. I just posted them today and I just got a response on redecking someone's trailer. So on top of that, let's say I do redeck these trailers. Let's say I do make $1,000 to $1,200. Now I have an entire business. Now I'm like, my mind is blowing the fuck up because I have a whole new business that I could run by like finding these boards periodically or just straight up buying these boards new, marking the price up double, and then doing decking on people's trailers occasionally. I also don't have to ever worry about the thought of like, when's the decking on my trailer going to go bad? Because I know that somebody somewhere, someplace is going to have these boards. And even if they didn't, I would just buy the boards for retail price new and do it myself because it'd be easy to do. I wouldn't have to come out $700 out of pocket. A 6x12 trailer new is probably at this point $1,400-1,500. So you're having to pay like half the cost of a brand new one just to get the boards. You know, that's not messing with the tires and the metal and all these other problems that can come along with these things to the gears on the little you know, the see, I don't even know my words. Anyway, you don't need to be a genius to do this shit. So you look up free stuff. And oh, by the way, when you're doing free stuff and it's valuable, you're never going to get a single thing if you do not offer them cash money immediately, hoping that they don't take your money. People that offer free stuff, they don't take your money. All right. They're giving it away for free. If anything, they're going to try not to take your money. So this dude offered these boards. He said he had gobs of people hitting him up. I said, I'll send you $20 right now to just take the listing down. And guess what? If I don't show up, then you can just take my money. And as a matter of fact, when I show up, I'm not even going to ask you for the money back. If you want to send it to me, you can, but I don't even care. And that's what happened. He didn't send me the money back and I don't care. It was $20 for about 30 boards. So I paid 67 cents a piece versus $25 to $35 a piece. Anyway, I'm not going to keep rambling about that. You get the point. Just on a get it for free and resell it basis, I'm winning. Even just on a get it and use it for house projects, still winning. So we're all good there. So moving sales can be a good source. I search it within 100 miles. For me, 100 miles is probably an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. I rarely go 100 miles. I'll probably go 80. I will do that to make $200, $300. You may not want to, that's up to you. If you live in a more populated dense area, 30, 40 miles could be an hour and a half, right? So just adjust that accordingly based on like your own comfort zone, which a lot of you might need to stretch that out a little bit. So people are going to be giving away a lot of like holiday stuff. Give me a second. Got to put this on local pickup. Ooh, people giving away stuff like this. You know, sometimes these things are made of cypress. They're made of like valuable wood. You can sell this 10. Doors are valuable. This is no small project. Obviously, most people will not be able to do this, but you can see where there's some money there. So just keep an eye on the free stuff. Don't neglect that zone. It is harder, especially in more populated areas, to get free stuff. But if you're aggressive as hell, if you offer them 20, you know, if you offer them a little bit of money, money does talk, action talks, and people will give you their stuff for 20 bucks. All right. Sorry, people keep on coming in. That's very cool. If you're coming in, just mute yourself. If you have questions along the way, ask me as you go along. So what we did is we just covered free items. Now, one good way to test, another good way to test this all out is to, sorry, I'm going to mute you guys. Let's see, everybody muted. All right, cool. Another way, so second method is going to be listing other people's stuff for free. And then I would put, or finding items or people. So one example I have recently is I found a $1,000 bill for a guy. He wanted not only a $1,000 bill, but he wanted it to be graded in the like uncirculated range. If you don't know, $1,000 bills are worth a multiple of 1,000. They're not worth 1,000. They're worth a lot more than that because they haven't been printed in almost 80 years, and they'll probably never be printed again. I think it was 1928 to 1934. I made a connection with a couple of different like bullion dealers through doing this, and I was able to save my friend $2,800 on this purchase. And I realize now like how hard it is to get them. And I realized if I saw one, I would now know it's a good deal. And I know that I'd be buying it with equity from then on out, right? So that would be like a good example of listing stuff for other people and then coming out with like a good skill. A bad example, or an example of like how to narrow this down. I had a friend that wanted me to sell a $1,500 recumbent bike, couldn't sell it for $100. So, okay, so that told me never buy recumbent bikes, no matter how cheap they're selling for, right? And I was able to do that for free. All I did was take up some space in my garage for a little while. He also asked me to sell a poker table. This was a wired poker table, LED lights, soft little foam stuff, cup holders cut in, heavy duty. I could tell the wood alone was probably $600. I ended up getting $180 for it. So lesson of the story, never gonna sell those items, right? So you can narrow down these things. This is all like what to flip by learning what not to flip. The only way you'd want to flip a poker table is if you got it for free. And even then, it's going to take up a lot of space. Things are huge and there's no way around it. That big old thing, you know, the big like oval shaped deal where all these guys sit around and play Hold'em or whatever stuff I've never played. So list stuff for other people, put that on your page. Like, hey, what do you need me to sell? Or, hey, what do you need me to find? So listing items you don't own. So actually, I kind of double did that one, but yeah, listing items for other people. You can do it for free, or you can do it for a fee. You can say like, hey, I'll list these items for you, and just give me like 30% or 20% or whatever deal you want to work out, half of what you were going to sell it for, because chances are it's just going to keep haunting them. And then in the process of doing that, you gain like a mental asset of knowing what these things sell for. So when you see them for sale, you know it's a good deal. Dude, please take notes on this. This is the shit. All right. And it sounds simple as I'm saying it, but like this will get you either in or keep you away from niches you have no business being in. So third thing. So list items online that are available online, but not available easily locally. And when I say that, I've only found a few of these, and I'll give them to you. And some of you may already know these items because I've given them to you before in the past. But hopefully this could spark something in you that you might think like, okay, I've seen something like this before. And here's what I did, and here's how I found it at the time. What I did is I looked for items that looked like they had professional pictures. Now in the new era of like drop shipping on Facebook Marketplace, you're going to come across a ton of stuff that has just professional pictures because the people don't actually own it. And they're also not going to be willing to meet up with you. You're going to have to get it shipped to yourself. And what that means is they're drop shipping it. So they're finding it somewhere else and they're marking it up double and then they're selling it to you, which by the way, is a fantastic way to make money if you don't have a lot of money. And if you do have a lot of money, it's a good way to make money. It's just not a long-term solution. So do it or don't do it. And so these exact items, which disclaimer, because of the supply chain stuff, these items have gone up so high that for me personally, they're not worth doing anymore. And it's sad because I used to do them not only in my city, but I did them in like 15 different cities. And I would ship these items to people all over the country. I would list them. I would put together the deal for them and then they'd meet up with them and I'd give them $20. So watch this. So this item right here used to be $80. This one used to be about half this price, about 40, 35, 40. And this is sort of the deal, 10 by 10. Damn it. Oh, here we go. That's weird. See, I wonder if people are actually buying this now because when I tried this, they were not anymore. $220. This used to sell for 80, 90 bucks on eBay. And that was before eBay didn't do taxes, but I think Trump did that thing where basically you pay taxes in every state. This 10 by 30 would sell 5-10 times a week, and I would sell it for $160 all day long. This person put it up 17 weeks ago, probably didn't renew it because no one's wanting to pay $220. At some point, people just start saying like, you know what, I'm going to rent one, or I'm going to just not go there. Which another idea, buy this for 140, 150 bucks. And then offer to rent it for $150, and people will pay that. Yes, Brian.
I was saying we can't see your screen.
Oh crap! Good, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, unshared it so you could see me while I wasn't doing screen share stuff. Okay, cool. So yeah, so this this wedding tent right here. Sorry about that. This 10 by 10 used to be $36. Now it's probably 60, 70 bucks. And this dude's barely making any money. This one right here, like I was saying, was listed 17 weeks ago at $220. The reason they probably hadn't renewed it is because they're not selling it. I used to sell it for $160 all day long, and now it costs $160. So side note, these probably are still rentable. It's been a while since I've tested that concept, but when I did, I had people wanting to rent it, but the catch is that I wasn't willing to go set it up. They wanted me to do it like Sunday and Saturday. And I'm like, I got kids and a family and stuff to do, you know? So if you don't care about that and you got like your wife that's going to watch the kids, go ahead and rent these out. And super good arbitrage opportunity. You can go and they'll help you set it up 15, 20 minutes. You go over there, you break it down. And I have done a few gigs where I did do that. And so it's like, I was basically making what I paid for it per gig. So the 10 by 20s, 10 by 30s are available on eBay, and it may still be worth giving a shot in your city. And what you would do is you would list these pictures, rip these pictures or rip them off eBay, put them on here, put a price, mark it up by 40, 50 bucks, whatever you want, and see if people bite in your city. And if enough people are biting, then you go ahead and order one. And if that sells, then you just order more and you keep ordering more. And the next thing you know, you're racking up massive flight rewards on your credit cards, and you're racking up like I don't know if they do eBay bucks anymore, but you're racking up the eBay bucks, and you're racking up points on like other websites that will allow you to click through their little affiliate links too as well. So for whatever reason, those are hard to find locally. The other one, Brian knows about this one, massage tables. I haven't sold these in a while. But brand new massage tables that look just like this These used to be, so this is probably used. Yeah, this is used like new. These used to be like $60 and now $60, $70, and I would sell them for 130. Again, all freaking day long. So I just want to spark that for you guys, like see if that sparks any sort of like thought process as far as like thinking of things that have a mixed commercial and residential use, don't have a lot of them locally available, and have sort of like a seasonal use to as well. So products like that will do really well. Toys. All right. So I'm using like case studies of things that I've done and exact products to show you what I did and how I did it. So toys, Nerf guns. God dang. All right, my typing's missing these words here. Whew. These guys are never, oh my gosh, they're never gonna sell. Yeah, look at that. This that 4 months ago, still for sale. I found one the other day that looked like about this much, and they had it for $40. Of course, they sold it before I got to it, but this is probably $1,000 worth of guns. No lie. Like these guns right here, some of these are like $100 each, believe it or not. What you're looking for though, is you're looking for people that don't do this. They don't do this. They just like, they post a bucket of them like this and expect you to just kind of be like, make an offer. So 10 or more, children not using, make an offer for all. So you come on here and you say $40, and, you know, you just kind of play aloof, like, I don't know, $40. But really you take a look and you're like, what's that say? Okay, that's a something or other. Okay, what's that one? You know, you start looking up the models and you start trying to price them on like comps on eBay. And next thing you know, you're in the money. And what I did is I found one like this. It probably had double this. It had a gaming chair, and it had like probably $100 worth of Legos, all for $100. Sold the gaming chair for 30. Sold a few of the guns for like $20 a piece, maybe 3 of the guns for $20 a piece. And then I sold all the Legos for 30. And then I still had a gang of guns that I ended up selling for like another 75. And I kept some guns, and I kept like one of the nicer ones. So, and then on top of that, I would, my guess would, there would be like a business where you say like, hey, I'll come to your kid's party with like an arsenal of these things for, you know, 100, $200, whatever it is. And just like, don't worry about the bullets or anything. Don't worry about nothing. Like, I'll bring all the bullets. And of course, at the end, you try to round up as many bullets as you get. But when you're done, you just go and get back the guns, and you go ahead and rent that to a new party like every weekend or whatever. And so I'm thinking about making that like a business model that my son does. Okay, so toys like that work out really well. Legos can work really well. So people will sell these like big old, yeah, like stuff like this. They'll sell. And I can't tell just by looking at that if that's a good deal. Probably. If you were to boil down like how many sets they actually had to buy to get that. Dude, look at this. What? Come on. These are not even open. This is great. Look, this is like $2.50 a piece. Now, some of these are trash, but I guarantee you some of these are like, these are pretty good. Side tip for your kids, you can have them getting the most boss ass toys, Nerf guns, Legos, all this stuff. And you can also make money off of it, right? So we've had a glorious year of Nerf gunning and Legoing, and we have not paid a single dime for any of this stuff. And so because I'll break off pieces of it and sell it, and then I'll make my money back. And I make sure I do that before I go buying all these crazy ass things. Now, you will lose money if you buy the sets brand new, obviously, and that's some of the thrill of doing it. And so like, there's no way around that. If you want to buy like new sets for your kids, for the most part, you got to just suck it up and buy new sets for your kids. But you know, you see stuff like this, which I hadn't seen before, and you've got gifts for friggin' life there. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll message that person. Hey. Never say, is this item available, for the millionth time. If you do say that, then just take a moment to punch yourself in the face, because you're going to lose more items than you'll ever get by being an average Joe and being lazy and not changing up your auto message, which is super easy to do. Don't let me catch y'all saying, is this available? That's like what you would say if you didn't want to get the item. Trying to think of other toys. Oh yeah, Hot Wheels. So I'll show you, let's see if some of these Hot Wheels I can find here. Oh yeah, these big old garages. Yeah, dude. So again, at first glance, if you've never done this, you don't know what to pay for these things. This person is not going to get $100. This person is not going to get, this person's probably going to get 50 bucks. Yeah. Like new, it's over a week ago. See, over a week ago, and they still have it up. That doesn't mean they hadn't sold it, but it might mean they hadn't sold it. So this Ultimate Garage, these sell usually for about 50 bucks. So you got to get them for $20, extra cars and tracks included. Wow, it's like an hour away. It's not worth it. But look, 20 bucks with some extra cars. These aren't big money items, but again, your kid would love this, dude. This is like, coolest kid in the neighborhood type stuff. You get that. And then when you're done, when your kid's tired of it in 3 days tops, then you sell it and make money. This is how you have your kids have all the nicest crap and also respect money and also learn how to flip stuff, because nobody got time for a job. If you got a job, most people don't want to be there. And so this is how you teach your kids how to not be there. Don't be consumers and spending all your money on this total dog shit. All right. So we're gonna end there for toys. I think I'm gonna put a check mark toys. I sent a text message to myself earlier. So let's see if this pulls up. See if it's still there. She sold it. Look at that dude. Dryer and washer. These things look amazing. She said she had them for 8 years. They look amazing. One needs a heating element. Maybe, maybe not. But guess what? She sold this thing in 4 hours. So here's another telltale sign. You could buy this for 50 bucks. Worst case scenario, you decide not to do the heating element and you sell the washer. The washer works fine. Oh my gosh. So you sell a washer for like $150 and you hedge that money with the $80 heating element. You learn how to change your own crap so you never have to pay these yahoos from Sears to come to your house. And look, I'm not a fixer, but this is something I'd be willing to do just to like learn this stuff. You fix that heating element, let's say that works, and you wait, you don't sell the washer just yet, so you can sell these as a bundle. And then if that works, the heating element ends up working for it. And so now you've got a pair, you're 130 bucks and some time in, and you flip these things for $300-400, maybe more. I don't know. I just know that you have to look for extreme value for extremely cheap. And when you see this thing, these look in such good condition for 50 bucks. As is, one works, one needs a heating element. You get the idea. Like I don't think I need to rant on that too heavily. Other appliances that sell well are like high-end blenders, Vitamix. So again, if you want the nicest crap as an adult, the Vitamix or the Blendtec are insanely good. Again, another punch yourself in the face moment. If you have a shark, here's your moment. Go ahead and punch yourself in the face. Worst brand on the planet, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Blendtec, again, amazing. Vitamix, look at this, $90. This, like, I have so many regrets in life, and I paid $475 for my Vitamix, and this thing is probably going to last another 20 years for 90 bucks. That is insane. And I guarantee you this would flip for 150. I know, because I've bought one to sell and done all that before. There's a espresso machine. Everyone's addicted to their drugs, their caffeine drugs. And the one I'm looking for, oh man, these things are super fine. So you can find these for really cheap. The problem is I hadn't gone through with one because they take a 240 volt. They basically take like a washer and dryer plug. So if you want to like test that it works and run the thing, you need to like, you'd almost need to have an electrician come over and like run the wiring for you. I mean, this is legit AF right here. But the one I'm looking for is like a little double dealy. They always have them for sale. Yeah, see 220 volt. That's what I was trying to think of. Come on, baby. Anyway, there's one that's a Valentina. Ooh, a Norwalk juicer. That's another one you can flip. I bought one for 300, probably gonna flip it in the $600 range. Dude, these things are the best. These are three grand, I think, new. You just have to get acquainted with some of these different brands. But there's one of them here that you'll see a lot. It's about a $600-700 unit, and it's got like a two-sided deal. And if you can find it in like the 200-250 range, which isn't easy, but if you can, they'll sell for in the 300-350 range. So I'm gonna have to leave that one at that. Sorry, I wish I could give you a little more details on that, but anyway, espresso machines. So that's appliances, and that's what I had in mind. Furniture. This one I would approach from a money saving standpoint. So this one, I'm actually just going to literally refer you to this group. I have not done couch flipping, but I know a guy that I've been friends with for about a year now, and he's made a living doing this for about 6 years. And this site is full, like it doesn't have a ton of members, but they're pretty active, and they're all day, like going over different tactics on how to pull this stuff off. So again, Empire Academy couch flippers. If you have a truck, if you have a trailer, obviously that's best if you're not small like me, or if you're strong. You know, these things work really, really well. My buddy tried this in Atlanta. He's got like a 7-figure agency, like an ad agency, and he was just bored. Like he had sort of scaled it out, and he's like, I'm just gonna flip some couches to like see how it is. And he could not flip like one a day for 150 to 200 bucks. So I can't teach y'all everything, but I can point you in the right direction when I don't know how. What did I do here? Okay, silver. Silver comes up occasionally, man. Some people will sneak this crap through. And actually, I sold some to Eric Strand. I got like an exceptionally good deal, and I was able to sell some to Eric, who's on this call. I was able to sell some to him for basically below market value of what you can normally get it at. And really all I did is I was able to keep like 2 ounces for myself. That's all I ended up doing. So I sold him at a good price, hooked him up. I kept a couple ounces for myself. Dude, silver is like so freaking cool to me. You just like the sound of silver money is next level. Like when you hear, like, I picture like coins in a movie. You know, you're watching like a movie, like throw you a bag of coins, and like that certain sound it makes. It sounds different from the BS plastic garbage money that's not even real money that they currently print. I don't know how to do the whole like buy this kind of crap and resell it. I haven't done any of that, but just sort of like occasionally do some lookouts here. And here's another one for you, especially Eric, is every week go to garage sales in your area. This doesn't work well on a desktop. I don't know why. But I scored big time last year by going through each garage sale and asking if they had silver. And then I found 2 one weekend that both said we have silver. I showed up at one of them, and the dude sold me $7 grand worth of silver for like 20% below market. Just to give you an idea, that just like never happens. If you buy silver for like spot value, you are like, you're lucking out hardcore. And so I don't know why, but he did it. He's an older dude. He's getting rid of it. And the truth is, I showed up at the same time as another guy, and he said, just to be fair, I'll sell you half and I'll sell the other guy half. So it could have been double the deal, you know? And so anyway, what I did though is I sold off my cost basis. Again, I sold off my cost basis for like spot plus maybe $1 or $2 at the time. And because it was considered like junk silver. Junk silver is just like circulated coins. And so I sold off what I had in there, and then I was able to keep like several $1,000s, or maybe my bad. I think it was like $900 worth of coins that I ended up keeping just, for free. Because again, silver is like a hedge against inflation, but it's not like you're not going to get a big boom on a silver or a gold coin. So I think it's best to like make your money on it and go ahead and sort of like keep the profits in silver as a hedge against inflation. So you're not supposed to list silver coins on Facebook, but somehow people get it through sometimes. And people can list them on Craigslist, and they can list them on OfferUp. So keep your eyes on OfferUp, keep your eyes on Craigslist for these. Any questions? I'm about to keep it going. All right. Silver, freaking cool. Oh, one more badass tip. One more super badass tip for flipping silver. When you go online to buy silver, I don't know why, but you're going to pay way more than you're going to pay if you call all the local shops and ask them for silver. Not always, depending on the coin. Like the Silver Eagles, you don't pay cheaper. It wasn't worth it at all when I tested this. But for the junk silver, which is like pre-1964 silver quarters, silver dimes, half dollars, silver dollars, you're gonna pay way less. And I'll give you an example. When I tested this out, I paid $12.75 per dollar, so per 4 quarters of junk silver. And the cheapest I found at the time was like Provident Metals for $17. So when I relisted these local for $15, people were out there socks wanting this. And all I was doing was selling it for $14-15 per dollar, and then going back to them and just buying more. And they just were like, wow, how's this guy doing this, And what you learn along the way is that like certain rare coins exist within the junk silver coins, and certain rare coins exist within actually like modern day coins. For example, there's a 2019 quarter that has a W on the front for West Point, and I think it's worth several grand. And there's 10 million of them total. And so if you find one of those, you can get them graded, and you can bank out, So all the good coins like haven't actually been removed. Anyway, I got all y'all muted, so I can't hear your oohs and ahs at how awesome this stuff is. But to me, hopefully you can catch the vibe that, to me, this shit is badass. I love this stuff. So method number 8 is weights. I've covered this before. I'm not going to cover this big time tonight. I will say that the concept of weights is bigger than just weights. We're living in like supply chain disaster times. And what that means is that everything is not available. Like if you want a couch to buy new, you're going to have like a limited selection. So what that means is you're either not going to be, my mom ordered a couch a year ago, still haven't got it in. So what that means is used stuff is selling for a lot closer to new prices, because new doesn't exist. And so what that means is like you can latch on to niches that are in short supply. And because they're in short supply, you're going to find people that don't know that, and they're going to sell them for like not short supply prices, meaning like they're going to sell it for what they think it would be normally worth. And then you're going to be able to turn that right back around and relist it. And you're going to be able to relist that for closer to retail. And so that is what we saw happen with weights. And right now I'm not doing weights. I'm actually in the middle of a move. Okay, I say that now, do this. And both of these are my listings. Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, both these are mine. Look how crappy these pictures are, dude, killing it. So just to give you an example, I bought this originally. God, this is horrible. I bought these weights as parts of sets. So when you're buying weights, like the idea is that you're buying sets. There's no way, this dude's been trying to sell this for like half a year. But this guy originally, this is a big example. It's just not a good price. He has all these dumbbells. By the way, dumbbells 40 pounds, 45 pounds and up, hard to get or impossible to get. So they sell for retail or more, $1 to $1.25 a pound. Below that, hard to sell. You're looking at like 60 to 70 cents a pound. Big weight equipment, nobody ever has respect for. That you'd be lucky to get $100 for this, even though this is probably like $1,000 piece of equipment. 45-pound plates still sell for $1 a pound. All the other plates, you're looking at like 70, 80 cents a pound. So just so you know, your like current prices, your area may vary. It could sell for more if you're in like a really densely nice area, populated nice area. These right here probably sell for about 200 to 250 as far as like weight squat squared out racks like that. Bars probably at the $50 range if they're in decent shape. And so there's more to it, but really what you're looking for is like some sets like this to where you can pay down the actual cost of the plates and the dumbbells to where that you're paying like pennies on the dollar, or this kind of stuff is free. Let's see if we can find a decent deal. That was me again. Oh, dude, look how wild I am. Weight plates, C prices, will ignore, how much for all, LOL. Seriously though, this is me. This is how I live my life. I call it the no shame hustle. So 1-inch weights are just garbage. Nobody wants them. This is 1-inch weights. I would only take these if they were part of a set and I knew I was going to make money off the rest of the set that I was comfortable with. And then I could like, yeah, maybe make some scrap money on some of those other weights. And other like extreme side tip, if you have a 2-inch drill press, you can drill out 2-inch holes and then sell them as 2-inch weights. So there is that. I have not personally done that. Again, 1-inch weights, hot garbage, don't do it. Other good items to flip are these adjustable dumbbell sets. Power Block sells okay. This is a 50-pound set. You could probably get 250. This guy's tripping. He's gonna get half of that maybe. It's another one of my weight items, another one of my weight items. This is me. I'm just liquidating my stuff. This is mine. See, like, just to give you an idea, I'm having trouble selling this for $15. This guy's tripping. He's got this really nice set, but $2,500. He's not gonna get half of that. And that's the problem. You don't want to sell when you're selling things. Side tip for your own stuff: don't sell in bulk, because you're going to sell it to someone like me. It's going to buy it, kind of like buying weed by the pound, selling by the dime bag. You're not going to get much when you sell it as much when you sell it by the pound, unless you're going to go ahead and decide to be like, hey, I'm going to be the weight plug in my area, and I'm going to start ordering this stuff. I'm going to get a warehouse, and yeah, I'll sell it for less. Unless you're going to do that, then don't go down that route. So that is weights. You can pull this same scarcity deal with trailers. Trailers are hard to find, hard to get. They're big. I mean, look at this 6x10 for $2,500. A year ago, this was $1,500. So if you find one of these, again, slightly used in the $1,000 range, you could probably either double your money or at least 50% return on your money. If you're going to do trailers, just have them sign the bill of sale and the title, and then you just don't sign it, and then you have them take that bill of sale or that title. It's signed by the other person with their ID and all that stuff, their driver's license number on it, and then that person can go to a notary and then put in their own name. If you put it in your name, you got to register it and pay the taxes, and then resell it, and then they have to register it and pay the taxes, which you don't want to give the government more than they should get. It's crazy that there's taxes each time, it's wild. Everybody can see my screen, I'm assuming. Is there any site like Google Trends where you can find what's in demand in your local market? I don't know, never tried. Oh, look, Eric Strand said, yes, I just found a garage sale listing for this weekend that has silver for sale. Dude, here's why I'm like hyping up Eric Strand. Eric Strand's a boss. But you know what? He's here because he knows like maybe there's something he can learn. And here he is, finding silver at garage sales. Dude, love it. I love it. All right. If you have questions, you can type in the chat. Again, you can unmute yourself, stop me. I don't care. So flipping things that you need for yourself, right? And so here's how you do this sucker like risk free. This is what I did with trailers. I needed a trailer. I didn't want to have to pay $1,000 for one. It was pissing me off that it was at the time for a 6x10, it was $1,100. And I found one that was like 6 months old for $950. It sold in you know, it was like 45 minutes and it sold. And I'm like, dude, I am not gonna fight to buy a trailer that's used for retail price. I'm just gonna go and buy one from this guy. So I found this guy with cheaper prices. He's about an hour and he's an hour and 40 minutes away. I paid $1,100 if I remember correctly, or $1,150, and I listed it for $1,450 on the way home, and it sold on the way home. But guess what? If it wouldn't have sold, I really needed that trailer anyway, so I had no risk in the game. So what do you need for personal use? Whether it's like vacuum cleaner, a car, a trailer, weights, you name it. Source that thing for the best freaking deal you can find. Spend your time for a few weeks, like really, really getting on top of it. And then buy that deal and don't fall in love with it. Relist it immediately. And if it sells for a profit, then guess what? You got house money to keep doing it over and over again. And next thing you know, we'll all be flipping like airplanes together or high-end luxury cars. Not so we can be cool and pull the ladies, but just because we can, just like, expensive cars, airplanes, all these things, they're liabilities, but they don't have to be. They do not have to be. I know a guy that he'll buy like the nicest Lamborghini with all the options, and only like 12 people that year will buy that. So he can legally and literally say only 12 like this were made. And it's like, oh, wow, it's so rare. But it's really just that like only 12 people, it's not like they like said, we're only making 12 and screw everybody else. Then we're going to make this price super high. No. Like only 12 people chose that package. So like 10 years later, the car has not depreciated. It has gone up. And he calls, I think he had 128 cars last time I talked to him. And he calls that his 401k. So start with what you already know, whether it's like music, guitars. By the way, there's a lot of money in flipping guitars, a lot of money in flipping like probably drums, stuff like that. So I covered this a little bit earlier, basically listing products that you don't own. Put up a post on your page that says, hey, who needs to sell something and doesn't feel like selling it? I'll just help you sell it. And guess what? Eventually you get good at that. Eventually you can build a name for that. And then eventually you can put a price tag on it. But I posted on my personal page today, sometimes you have to like give value first. You can't just come out hot saying like, I'm offering a service and I want money now. And I operate on that. Like, this call is free and this call is valuable. And one day, actually, anyone not on this call is going to have to pay for it. So start out by like offering to list stuff for people. And then that's going to help you back into niches where you're going to learn like, what do you want to do? What do you not want to do? What's a pain in the ass? What's worth doing? Along the way, it may spark some like creative thought of like, how do I find a supplier for this or that? And and you never know what could come up. So guys, that wraps up this call and this webinar. I really hope you appreciated it. Again, if you have questions, you can unmute yourself and ask me now. And I'm just going to shut up for a second and assume that somebody will want to ask a question. And if not, I'll shut this down. All right, I will end recording.